running a business is a tough and lonely journey. Welcome to the Executives on the Front Lines podcast, where business owners and C-suite executives like you will get real answers to your everyday business problems. I'm your host, Jeff Palacio, and together we will learn from senior leaders who have occupied every top box of a company's org chart for every size organization and who like to roll up their sleeves while checking their egos at the door. Welcome to another quick huddle edition of Executives on the Frontline podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Palacio. My great co-host, Baron Lucas, is here with me. Hi, Baron.
Hello, Jeff.
Yeah. So we're answering questions from most common questions that we get from our clients. Today's question is about strategic plan execution and measurement. And the exact question is, how can we effectively execute our strategic plan and establish mechanisms for ongoing monitoring, evaluation, and course correction as needed?
That's a wonderful question, and it is literally one of my passions is strategic planning. And it starts out with this, I think, Jeff, is that there is a quote from an old Prussian general that says, "No plan ever survives first contact with the enemy." And if you think about that, that's really, really true. It doesn't matter if it's in combat or if it's with the client, the customer, the vendor. Stuff happens and the plan changes. So the first thing is make the planning process continuous. So the average company out there, if they plan, is that they do their plan sometime in the third quarter, beginning of fourth quarter. Christmas happens, New Year's happens. They come in January, they get punched in the face by a client, not literally, but figuratively, and the plan is never looked at again because now they're in chaos mode and the rest of the year continues. So first of all, planning is continuous. Have a plan. And I do a 5-year vision, 3-year target, 1-year plan. So it rolls forward every year, but inside the year, we do this. We look at the plan, we break out lines of business, we break out tactical action items, and then we measure bloody everything. From how many contacts does it take to close a deal, to what's our ROI for this, what's our revenue, and it's everything from financial discussion to behavior for whatever the objective is. Measure it, and then clearly have a list of KPIs, key performance indicators, that you monitor continuously, and then have a dashboard on how you're doing based on the goals you set for the year. Now, once you've done that, then it starts with daily leadership team huddles. Couple of minutes. What are my priorities? What are my concerns or issues? What do I need help with? Where am I? Because we're all virtual these days. That and the priorities better be in tune with what the plan is. Not my priority today is to go grocery shopping. No. It's what are you doing to execute the plan? Second thing is every week have a leadership team meeting that focuses on the plan and the things that you're doing. And I call them rocks and boulders. Monthly rocks for what you have to do that month, boulders for quarterly. And every leadership team, you say, if I'm responsible for X, I'm on track or off track. And I'll tell them why I'm off track. Because we have to monitor what we're supposed to be doing. Right. On a monthly basis, we review the plan and then we check the measurements and see how we're doing. If we had a monthly goal of 10 million in sales and we came in at 8, well, we got a challenge and we're going to figure out why and make weather inputs. Again, the plan never, ever survives first contact. On a quarterly basis, we review everything that we knew about the plan. SWOT analysis, what we know, don't know, assumptions, shortfalls, risks, everything that goes into building the plan. And then we look at our dashboard on KPIs and how are we doing? And we make major weather inputs potentially, even changing direction, right? To understand how we get to our goal. If we don't do that deliberately, and we don't have that daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly cycle of looking at the plan, evaluating the plan, measuring our performance, and communicating that plan down to the lowest possible level, you can't possibly execute it correctly in order to succeed.
Yeah, when you started answering the question in the beginning, it's Mike Tyson's famous quote: "Everybody has a plan/strategy until he gets punched in the face," right? So good old Mike Tyson was a leadership guru, plus one of the best cameos in a movie of all time, in the
There you
first
go.
Hangover movie. So there you
That's
go.
lucky.
Are you familiar with the book 12-Week Year?
I'm not, no.
Yeah, so your process, because a lot of times you work, you have annual objectives. So if something is not due, and a lot of objectives are annual, there's some quarterly, but by the end
Right.
of the year, it's this amount in sales and this whatever, we're going to implement this. Well, a lot of times you don't start like, oh yeah, it's October 1st. Maybe I should start looking at those, And obviously
Too late.
sales is a little different because you should be monitoring those things on a more, consistent basis. But I think because, when you have 365 days or, whatever the business days are, missing one day and not focusing on it is fine, or 2 days, especially it's January, February. But if you break your goals into smaller increments to get to the goals, then every day matters for the most part, depending on what the
Right.
goal is. So I think I
Right.
like that process. The rocks and the boulders. So yeah,
Terrific.
that was great. So any other closing thoughts on executing and measuring strategic
Yeah,
plans?
just as a tickler on this podcast, we'll have a link in whatever podcast form we've got that takes you to an article called "Planning for an Uncertain Future." And I think that has a lot of tools on how to look at planning and execution process that you might be interested in reading.
Yeah, that's great. Baron, thanks again for your insight. I look forward to our next quick huddle.
Okay, take care, Jeff.
Thank you for listening to this quick huddle episode of Executives on the Front Lines. If you are a CXO or business owner and would like your question answered in a future quick huddle, you can reach out to Baron Lucas or Jeff Palaccio on LinkedIn. See episode description for details.